all eyes are on how this administration is handling the rising tensions in Minnesota, especially with the DOJ investigating the state's governor and the Minneapolis mayor for alleged obstruction of law enforcement over ICE operations. I asked Minnesota State Republican Representative Mike Wiener if he thought the investigation is warranted. Here's what he told me.
Especially seeing some of the things that have happened in our great state under Walz's leadership, I think the investigation is probably too late, or it's late. It should have been done a long time ago. When we see the massive amounts of fraud, when we have almost 500 whistleblowers that are coming forth, and the administration did not do anything to take care of some of those issues. Yes, I think Walz should be investigated federally, and Jacob Frey as well for some of his comments. And making our state a sanctuary state has really fostered some of this conflict. So I believe they should be investigated to find out exactly what's taken place and their part in this chaos.
What about President Trump's claim about not wanting to weaponize the DOJ? Do you think he's doing that now against the leaders of Minnesota?
Well, at the same time, has Walz worked with the DOJ to begin with? My understanding was that the Trump administration had contacted Minnesota, talked to them about bringing ICE agents in. It was supposed to be for a short time, lesser number of officers, and Walz would not cooperate. He would not work with the Trump administration. So really, this is you've got to go back and look at the onus of what's really happened here. And if Walz had simply said, yes, we'll get these bad actors, we'll get these criminals off the streets, because that's really what this comes down to. There's many murders, rapists, drug dealers, people who are trafficking children, and we don't want them here. So really what we're seeing is our governor has been protecting these criminals, and yes, he should be investigated for doing that.
But would you agree most, no, it's okay, I didn't mean to interrupt. Would you agree that most of these arrests that have been made in your great state, and I love Minnesota, it's really a beautiful state, are not criminals?
I'm sorry, say that again?
What about the argument that many of the arrests that have been made in Minnesota are not criminals?
Well, you can go on DHS's website and see some of the worst of the worst offenders, and that really should give everybody an indication of what they're pulling off the street. And we don't want those people in our streets. We don't want them out in greater Minnesota. We don't want them here.
What about President Trump threatening to invoke the Insurrection Act? This is not the first time he's threatened using it in your state. Do you believe that's warranted at this time with this help based on what you are seeing on the ground yourself, Representative?
The Insurrection Act, and we've seen Trump kind of pull that back a little bit. I hope it doesn't get to that point. I hope cooler heads prevail. I hope that Governor Walz really just evaluates this situation, says, you know what's best for the people of Minnesota here? Let's get these criminals off the street. And then ICE would leave. And then life would go back to, our Great Lakes, our long and cold winters. But let's just work with the federal government. Let's get this taken care of, get those criminals off, and we're done.
That was State Representative Michael Wiener. We appreciate him coming on this morning.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.